Good, how are you doing?
Yeah, right that way.
Yep, with my J22.
I saw it in the lot there yesterday. Went for sale.
Nice.
What's the deal with the J22?
I just bought
He just bought one. He just bought one as well.
Are you gonna race it?
I'm not planning to. I can't really
It's a
race.
good looking boat. No bottom paint on it or anything.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I saw it driving down the road. It was
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks nice. It's,
So you get like a white, does it make a white bottom paint?
They do.
That's what you should do. Yeah. So it doesn't look like it's, yeah, it looks fast.
It looks like it's
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's how it was tri-sale.
Yeah.
It was on Buffalo.
Except we'll keep, you keep coming up to you and say, hey, you gonna race that thing? It looks too fast.
All right.
Anyway, there are agendas at the end of the day. That's what you already printed out.
Printed out mine. All right. Yeah, and I'm going to call the meeting to order.
Okay.
Looks like we have all members present but Dick, but we have a quorum to proceed. A few minutes of July 12th. Now that I don't have. And I didn't see, I checked my emails.
No, actually, I was going to ask if we could table that for the next meeting because today I had allowed an hour or so to finish it up. I just had to finish it up, the end of it. And I ended up making phone calls to various town councils to find out, or to various town clerks to find out when we had to submit things for next agenda. So that was kind of a late request by somebody, by Dick, and he's in Middletown tonight, and that's why he's not here. So he wanted to have that information so he could convey that to a couple of other people who was attending that meeting. So if we could put that off until next Monday, that would be, because we don't have, I didn't finish it.
Assuming that's when we meet, yeah, that's fine. Not that I have any plans. But happy to table that agenda item for now. Congress of Councils. I'm hoping, Pete, that you are going to be able to provide some information on some of these points here.
We have the ones that have committed in the past, and we're assuming that they're still planning to come, which are Portsmouth, Middletown, Newport, and I think Tiverton was not quite on board, but they were willing to attend. They just needed a more formal question about when it was going to be and Bristol will when that happens.
And did Tiverton, has anyone made a personal visit to their town council? Do we think that's necessary, or are they seemingly committed enough that we don't think that's going to be necessary?
That's some of the information I brought today. Tiverton Town Council, their next meeting is July 26th. And I think that's one that we're not going to try and get on their agenda. I think later on on the agenda, we'd like to kind of delegate people to various towns, and I know we've already done that to some extent. Dick, as I mentioned, is in Middletown tonight. I was actually going, that was another reason why the minutes didn't get finished, because I was actually thinking about going to Narragansett tonight.
Oh, okay.
And that's going to be a busy meeting this evening. So they recommend that I show up to the August 2nd meeting instead. And so anyway, let's see. So, and the other thing is, because I was planning to go to Narragansett, we were thinking about canceling the meeting tonight, but I decided we should just go ahead with it and get these towns delegated so we can get to them. And if we can get on the agenda of something, it would be a little more formal. All these towns have open forum, and you can go up and they give you 3 minutes or 5 minutes, depending on the town, to say whatever you like. But it's better, you know, we're on the hard copy of the agenda. So,
okay.
Except in some cases.
All right. So which towns are there left to hit, and what dates do we have? Well, let's start with which towns there are. So.
Okay. Well, first I do have Providence on here. I don't know if that's something we want to delve to try and get the city council from Providence down to this event. I imagine we might. I mean, they've kind of had their battle with Hess or with Weavers. I guess it was with Hess years ago when they were trying to get Providence, obviously. So I don't see why we wouldn't exclude them. A lot of these councils, as I spoke to some of the clerks earlier today, they said we could actually personally invite some of those councilors as well, and we wouldn't even necessarily have to do it in front of their meetings, which could take time out of the meetings. And this time of year, it seems like a lot of towns are passing budgets in their town council meetings too. So.
And you're saying that's a distraction? That's
No.
sort of their primary.
No, it's not a distraction. It's I think some
critical thing that they need to address before coming to a meeting.
Right.
LNG.
Yeah, but time is important. We don't want to wait too long to invite them, but it also just might be more personal. I think it's kind of like anything. You kind of have to gauge the town and how it's operated, because they all operate slightly differently. Some more formal than others, and I think some it might be more appropriate just to have personal contact with council members and say, can you make it to this, and that might be better. Like for Newport though, making an appearance there I think was helpful, personal appearance, and they seem very receptive to that. And of course Dick is going tonight, and I believe, yeah, we're on their agenda, so for that meeting.
On Newport?
We're on the
Middle
middle
towns for tonight.
Yeah.
Do we know the dates of these meetings, of when Newport has their next meeting?
Newport, I don't have Newport's because we've already been there,
We know they're coming.
and we know they're coming.
Yeah, that's,
What about Providence, and if we want to lean that?
Well,
way?
that's one thing I'd like to ask the committee here, is whether or not we'd like to go ahead and get on their agenda, or just make an appearance at the meeting, or make a personal appeal to them to come.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of, again, the priority towns, I think, would be the ones that are
Directly on the back, yeah.
directly in the back, directly on the route. And it sounds like we've got most of those covered.
I just said Providence because it's on the top of my list here.
But per capita, the Providence Council represents, I mean, the number of
Exactly.
people that they
Oh,
represent
exactly, yeah.
is far outweighs any of the other towns.
Right.
Even though, and I imagine the eastern side is going to be in sort of the zone, as it were,
Right.
to a certain degree.
And they also have a lot of experience with this, of course, too.
Yeah.
So, and, but yeah,
So, I'm sorry, obviously I missed the last two meetings because I was on holiday, but we're not trying to get a quorum.
you
We're just
can
looking for
watch
one.
them on.
Yeah, I know, I can
So,
catch them on
this,
on YouTube.
yeah.
There's we're not trying to get a quorum, we just need a representative from the council.
Yeah, well, right, we would,
It's
yes.
an official representative, I think.
An official,
It just
so
can't
it
be
doesn't even need
somebody-
to be a council member.
It has to be the council attending himself, sending somebody.
An appointed.
And
Yeah, on
you're-
behalf of that
Right.
council, of course.
I think, we should at least send Providence a letter.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, the power of this thing will be enhanced by
For
the
sure.
number of the population is covered in the
Yeah.
state by the town
Right.
council, so.
And the
Knock themselves out.
objective is to have large exposure.
Right.
Yes, and they'd want to be a part of that, I imagine, to represent as, the capital of the state.